Lock and load, baby. Oh, hey guys, this is P.M.R.Bonez88. And today for my next sci-fi movie review that I'll be talking about today. There we are. Aliens. So this is the sequel to the 1979 Ridley Scott sci-fi horror classic Alien. And now we have a new director, James Cameron, who also directed the 1984 sci-fi classic The Terminator. James Cameron did not just direct this film, he also screenplay and written for this second film, in which it took about almost 7 years to get this film to be in theaters. And that's how sequels should be. Not to be rushing into production, trying to get it into theater for another year. It should be taking about 2 or 3, approximately 4 years, maybe more. So that way a sequel could have a better storyline, a better script, and with most actors trying to at least take this movie very serious. But for Aliens, it was a huge successful. It hit up to about 180 million worldwide at the box office, and it was #1 sequel of 1986. And the returning stars are going to Weaver to play as Ripley for the second time, and it also starred Bill Paxton, Michael Biehn, Lance Henriksen, and Jeanette Goldstein. What was great about this sequel? Well, it had a good storyline. It had a good script. It had some amazing visual effects and the creature effects, including with the Queen Alien. And not to mention with the whole environment and the screenshots that was like taking place from every single planet. That was really great. And that was perfect for James Cameron for making this film. And also the... Hello.
Hello, Bones. How's it hanging?
Look, what do you want?
I need to talk to you.
Can't you see I'm in the middle of a review? Can you call me some other time?
No, I'm sorry there, Bonesy boy. It cannot wait. And plus that I am giving you is a big surprise.
A surprise? What kind of a surprise?
Oh, you'll soon find out. Because you're gonna really love it.
Alright then, tell me at the end of the review. Until then, stop calling me while I'm in the middle of a review!
Yeah, okay, whatever.
Okay, bye.
Oh, don't worry, folks. He's gonna get his surprise soon. Very soon.
So this movie begins with Ripley flying into space, still sleeping at a cardiac arrest. Well, not really cardiac arrest. That means she's not dead, but she's really sleeping. But after from her first encounter with the alien from the first film, she wakes up in a hospital and she finds out that she was sleeping and flew into space about over 50 years. It turns out that she had an alien inside her and was beginning to burst out of her chest, but then she woke up in a dream, so all that was just a dream. It never really happened. And then later on the next day, we see her talking to the corporation. At first they didn't really believe her and they want to talk about what really happened during that event, that all of her crew were killed and slaughtered by that xenomorph alien. Somehow they thought she was crazy and she needs some physical help, and then she got decommoded, so therefore she was fired. So eventually Bert and one of the Marine Corps decides to go talk with her so that way she could decide and join up. Oh yeah, I still have my gun, you know, just in case. So anyways, Bert decides to talk to Ripley and see if she wanted to join up with the Marine Corps. At first she refused and didn't want to go anymore. Then she's been having several nightmares during that event. So eventually, Ripley calls Bird during the middle of the night and tells her that she changes her mind and she will join the Marines. But in one condition, that she just wants to wipe out all the aliens and not to bring anything back. All the characters were very funny and really interested. My favorite most of all was Vasquez, because she was such a badass. She was tough, she was lethal, and you don't really want to mess with her. She was my favorite character of all times, especially when she gets all crazed and being all tough. She reminds me of a character so much, and I'm not sure who it is, but I'll probably think about it soon. Then we see Hudson, a wisecracking soldier, sarcastic. Sometimes at the second act, he starts to become a whining ass bitch. And in the third act, he starts to get all serious and tries to get really tough and serious. Bill Paxton, he was so funny, at times all sarcastic and being a wisecracking asshole. That's what he was back then. And then we have his Hicks, played by Michael Biehn, which was surprising that he looked very familiar. I didn't know who he was at first, but when I first saw him, oh wait a minute, that's the guy who played Kyle Reese in the first Terminator movie. That was really surprising. I did not know he was in the second film. And then we have his Lance Herskin, who played as Bishop the android.
And now for the moment we all been waiting for. Is Bones' big surprise. Ade loca
What the? Hey. This isn't my room. Where the hell am I? Hello?
Hello, Bones.
Dark Shadow.
You like the surprise I gave you?
What's going on? Where did you take me?
Well, I thought I offered you something, so I thought I decided to give you my base.
Wait a minute. This is your base? You're letting me do my review at your own base?
That's right.
Why?
Well, you had some angry neighbors that saying that you were too damn loud, so I decided to take the chance to give you my base, so that way you could do your review on aliens.
Well, I can see that you really did me a good, huge favor. But where are my stuff? Like, where's my movies? Like my aliens?
They're right behind you.
Well, can't believe I'm going to say this, but thanks.
Anytime.
At least it did me a favor. So with all the Marine soldiers skinning up and having some breakfast, Hudson asked Bishop to do the hand thing with the knife. At first that Bishop wanted to do his own hand, but then Drake forced Hudson's hands to put in, and he decided to use both hands. And I even loved how Hudson was screaming while Bishop was like using the knife, like doing it fast and speed. That was so epic. I think that was the most awesome scene that Bishop ever done before. That was really my favorite. When Ripley realized that Bishop was an android, she was still afraid from her last android by Ash that he was all clicky and twitching a lot. So eventually Ripley just told and just ordered Bishop just to stay away from her. Honestly, I don't blame Ripley. I would have been afraid too if an android would have tried to attack me, and then if I see another android, I would tell him the exact same thing. But then again, he's just a good android. It's not like he's going to go all crazy and attack shit like Ash did in the first Alien film. So this movie is actually just talking about the event from the first film, but then up to the second half, we see the action starting to pick up, where the Marines fighting off all the aliens fighting off with the Marines. Sad and disappointed that A.P.M.R.Bonez barely put much of a fight. All he ever did was just talking to Gorman, and that was it. So most likely the alien just killed him off. And also we introduced to another character named Newt. She was the survivor from getting away from all the aliens, that the aliens attacked the corporate facility. Probably her real name is Rebecca, but nobody calls her real name except her brother. Her brother was mentioned, but didn't really show it in the movie. We only see her family in the special edition into one scene, that was it. And speaking of the special edition, they added more never before seen footage. We see Ripley's daughter that died and passed away, and we also see Newt's family at the corporation, the Wayland facility. And we see much more of the Marines talking about the Queen alien, and also with machine guns fighting off with the aliens. But it's mostly we don't really see the aliens. We only see them just for cutout clips from one scene. We don't really see the aliens put much of a fight. And speaking of the aliens, they are now different. They are very camouflaging, and they're more like chameleons, blend into the darker environments. They stay in the shadows, so they're almost like Batman aliens. We barely see the aliens. They weren't really the main villains. We do see them just running and jumping, a good scene, but most likely they're always getting shot all the time. But the main villain of this movie was the Queen. I love it how they made the Queen with all the puppeteers that they were inside of the suit, or some that just used the strings to make her look more realistic. I love the puppeteer effects. And with the Queen, she is more vicious, very scary. I think I love how the way the Queen just smiled when there's an empty elevator available. I think she was smiling. I'm not really too sure, but to me, that was a smile. Right after where Ripley rescued news from the Queen, they were going to try to get to the ship, but she thought that Bishop just left her there, just left her dying. And with the Queen alien coming right at them, you could really see all the environments that was happening, the building, the pipe, and the lightning, that it was starting to explode and corrupting. That was great effect. I love it so much. And right after where we see Bishop coming back and rescuing Ripley and Newt, where the planet didn't really destroy, just the building, because they only have about 4 hours to get out of there. And what was surprisingly that since Bishop was a hero, and right until the Queen just killed Bishop and just split him in half, I was asking myself, how did the Queen manage to get into the ship? I don't know how she did, but this is Aliens, it's a movie, and the most climactic battle was between Ripley and the Queen, especially where she said to her was,
"Get away from her, you bitch!"
Wow, that was the classic line ever. So Ripley faces off the Queen. She used the machine on her and throws her down to the cargo, opens the door, the hatch door, and at first the Queen was going to take Ripley down with her. What she let go was Blaze's shoe, and she just fell down into the deep, dark, cold of space. Surprisingly, maybe she wasn't dead, maybe she was just flying in space, but the atmosphere in space, she's probably froze up and probably burned into a crisp and exploded. So at the end, Ripley saves Newt, Bishop, and Higgs, which unfortunately he fell asleep, so we weren't sure if he was dead or alive, but he did survive, and technically they all fell asleep and tried to return home. So after done talking about this film, Aliens is the best sequel ever. I think the only best Alien movies were the 1979 classic Alien and Aliens. Alien 3 and Resurrection were kind of okay, but merely disappointed and didn't really follow up to the sequel. So if you really want to see good Alien movie, just stick with Alien and Aliens. They're the two best sci-fi horror action movies. But for Aliens, it was the best visual effects, best storyline, great script, and James Cameron did a terrific job on it. And I think for both Terminator, Terminator 2, Aliens are my best 3 favorite movies. So just to rate this film for Aliens, I would definitely give this a best 10 out of 10, so the grade would definitely be an A+. Aliens is so magnificent, and definitely would recommend you guys to see it. And if you want to see the special edition, go for it, because it's actually better than the theatrical version. I haven't seen the theatrical version like 10 or 11 years. It was during when I was back in high school. And I do have this movie on VHS, Blu-ray, and DVD. So definitely, Aliens is the best sequel ever, and always will be, thanks to James Cameron. And this is P.M.R.Bonez88's signing off. His saying is, peace!
Get away from her, you bitch!
Now I gotta figure out a way how to get out of here. I hope Dark Shadow transformed me back to my... Speaking of which... Yep.
Hey, Bones.
Oh, Dark Shadow.
So, are you done with your review of Aliens?
Yes, I'm done with my review.
Good. Because I got a surprise for you too. The main surprise this time.
So what's the surprise? Oh boy. Chucky.
And since you already reviewed the first 2 Child's Play movies that I'm disappointed in you, you owe me a review of Child's Play 3.
Okay, well, I did the review of the first Child's Play movie like 2 years ago, and I did Child's Play like a couple months ago too.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you weren't around. Okay, you were around for this year, but this time you want to review Child's Play 3?
That's what I want.
Huh. I figured that. Dark Shadow? Have you by any chance have any pets lying around here?
Pets? Pets. Do I have any pets? Not that I recall.
Then what was that hissing sound? I heard a hiss.
Oh yeah, these are my 2 xenomorph dogs. A gift from my master.
You have a what?
Yeah, don't worry, they're not gonna bite you. Well, maybe one. I just hope you brought your gun with you, but don't kill them. You can scare them, but don't kill them.
Oh, you gotta be fucking kidding me. Well, it's right here, and it's staring at me. Well, can you just do me a huge favor and get me the fuck out of here? Please, hurry!